rest of your evening. Next, we have MacKenzie Hill.
Hi.
Go.
Hi there.
Welcome.
Thank you guys so much for taking the time out today and for your previous support of the Connecticut Film Tax Credit. I know you've heard a lot from us today, so I'll try and do something a little different than a lot of. I fully agree with we need to be competitive with the states around us, but I know we all know what those states look like based on what we've heard today. I am somebody who's worked in the industry for over 15 years. I worked in LA for 10. I moved to Connecticut knowing I was going to work in New York for the last 5. I'm a homeowner in Stamford, Connecticut. I am a business owner. I started my production company here in Stamford last year. Seeing the potential in the Stamford community and Stamford studios and the resources available, I started to get to know the local community instead of just commuting into New York for every networking event and job that I had. And I truly believe there is a thriving industry here, that it's well on its way. That I echo others today who said, I think we could be part of the money solution here and part of diversifying an already business-friendly state. I want to say there's kind of a two-prong approach for a production company like mine. One is the large narrative projects and larger documentary projects that this tax credit massively affects. And those are kind of the golden goose of what production companies do. The second tier of what production companies like mine do is bolster local business owners and their companies. And our state has over 15 Fortune 500 companies headquartered here. I'd like to say we are production companies that could be in-house marketing for Connecticut. Like, we are here to keep money in this state, marketing our businesses nationally. Why take all that business to New York or New Jersey? I think it's a missed opportunity. I think in Stamford, I talk to business owners all the time who are looking for local production companies for their advertising. And I would hate to feel like I need to move where I'm building my business because there's a ceiling on the type of project I can make due to the tax credit cut. Yeah, that's my big concern, I guess, with this credit cut. So thank you guys so much for listening, and I welcome any questions.
Thank you. We appreciate the different perspectives that we hear. So thanks for being with us tonight.
Yeah.
Seeing no questions, we will.
Senator Miller has her hand up.
I am so sorry, Senator Miller.
That's okay.
I haven't had to
Thank
look
you.
online in a long time, so excuse me.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Hi, I hope you don't mind me calling you by your first name, MacKenzie. I'm Senator Miller. I am from Stamford. I live in Stamford, and I want to thank you for moving to Stamford. Do you know how many production companies are in Stamford?
I honestly haven't seen any in Stamford that are doing the services I'm offering. So no, I don't know of any here in Stamford right now.
Okay. Are you aware that NBC Universal is in Stamford?
Yes.
And do you think Stamford, the proximity to New York would make a difference, or could have been a decision maker for NBC or companies like yourself moving to Stamford? Let me ask you, why did you choose Stamford?
Honestly, I was working in New York, and we needed to be as close to the city as we could be to make it work for me to work every day. But now my wife is literally 9 months pregnant and having our baby in 3 weeks, and I don't want to be working such late, long shoot days out in the city away from my family, basically. But Stamford was a proximity to the city, and the industry there was the choice.
Thank you for that. And if I may, Madam Chair, one more question.
Please.
Thank you. So I really do appreciate you choosing Stamford. My concern in the tax credits, and the young lady who testified before you, Ms. Savage, she hit it home, right? It's making sure that we're competitive with the other states. And what my concern is, if we do reduce it to 25%, that companies like you and NBC would lose Stanford. I mean, Stanford is booming. We're the second largest city in the state. And I think that we're probably the first because the count got cut off after COVID. But I really do appreciate you moving here. And I agree with you that it would hurt the industry, but coming from representing Stanford, I think it would hurt us, and it would hurt not only the city but the state in attracting more business, because our proximity to New York has always been a plus
Absolutely.
to the growing community in Stanford. And even during COVID, individuals were locating here from Stanford. So I do agree with you, and I thank you for testifying. I hope that we do reconsider increasing, at least letting it, I'm for increasing it to 35-40%,
Yes.
but at least keeping it at 30.
To your point, it just really quickly, I'll keep this super short, but in my experience with people, because I've been working in New York for so long on so many productions, I have watched people start to build their families and try and decide whether they're going to live in Connecticut or live in New Jersey. And the choice, I would say, is 90% New Jersey, because we are an unstable film and TV industry market. And I really think we're leaving money and opportunity on the table, because I think a lot of people would choose Connecticut if we were pouring into our film and tax incentives a little bit more.
All right. Well, thank you very much for those comments, and congratulations on the new baby that's coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.